All right, the Democratic Alliance is calling on President Cyril Ramaphosa to end the lockdown curfew before New Year's Eve. South Africa still remains on lockdown level 1 at the moment, and let's speak to the DA's leader, John Steenhuisen, who joins us now virtually. Thank you very much for your time here on All Angles, sir. This is obviously your plea because of the fact that we're not seeing as many hospitalizations and deaths as we did during the previous waves.
That is correct. We've always had a balanced and adjusted approach to dealing with the virus. When it has been at more virulent strains, we've locked down. Where it has been less, we've eased up. And I think that given the fact that there's massively low hospitalization rates across the country, I think that what we now need to do is to give our economy the kickstart and boost that it needs to be able to get moving again and to be able to be profitable and to create the much needed jobs that we need in South Africa. And I think that the Omicron variant has proven to be a lot less dangerous than others. There's also a higher degree of vaccination. And so having this curfew in place doesn't make any sense anymore. And now we need to focus on the real danger to South Africa, and that is that of poverty and a complete breakdown of our economy.
And of course, with those 4 hours that people are expected to be home, it's not like South Africans are all listening. Am I correct?
Well, that's correct. And that's the other thing. Many South Africans are not adhering to the curfew in any event. And I think it's going to be a complete waste of police resources on a time when they should be enforcing traffic regulations, drink driving regulations, and clamping down on criminal behavior, for them to be running around shutting down New Year's Eve parties. Every hour that a restaurant or venue can stay open is 1 more hour towards profitability and 1 more hour towards being able to keep their doors open and their employees in work. And I think that given the fact that the figures are so low, given the fact that there's more important things for the police to be doing than policing party goers, that we should be releasing this curfew. And I think that we should look early in the new year towards lifting the state of disaster completely. If later down the line there's a massive increase or a new variant, we can relook at it. But it makes no sense to keep draconian regulations in place when we're seeing massively low hospitalization figures and we're seeing a declining death rate as a result of COVID-19. We've got to try and get South Africa back to some semblance of normality where we can get our economy moving. Poverty is the biggest killer in South Africa, and that is driven by a 42% unemployment rate. We need to get that economy moving and kick-started. We've had a terrible year from a tourism and hospitality perspective, and then the red list debacle at the end of this year has caused significant strain to the hospitality industry and the hotel industry. And I think that we should get off their backs a little bit over the New Year period to allow them to be able to try and turn some term of profit over this period.
So your suggestion then would be that for now we allow people to be on the streets at any time that they want, and a little later on or in the beginning of 2022 we actually abolish the state of disaster. But there are people who are still not agreeing to get vaccinated, etc. So we still have a problem, especially with this new Omicron variant that is spreading so quickly.
Yeah, but it is proving to be a lot less dangerous than any other of the variants that we've seen previously, particularly the Delta variant, where you saw a massive spike in deaths. I think that we've got to ramp up the vaccine education and make sure that as many people as possible who want to get vaccinated are vaccinated. But then we've got to allow the rest of South Africa to get back to a normal life. The hospitalization figures are the driving force behind why a curfew was put in place in the first place. They didn't want to have a strain on the hospitals over this period. That danger is no longer there at this present time, and therefore it makes no sense to keep an economy-killing curfew in place when it is not required.
All right, DA leader John Steenhuisen, thank you for your time here on All Angles and on ENCA. Of course, the DA calling for the president to abolish that curfew between 12 midnight and 4 a.m.